Mobile Legends has 3 ways to design a character. The hot, handsome heroes, who look like they could come out of a teenage magazine. The cool ones, who doesn't really look hot but is cool enough to play with. Monsters, demons, or even dinosaurs. And there's the third category, the weird ones, like emo Xborg, a fucking owl with a stick, or some kind of weird stray cat.
Meow meow nigga!
Helcurt is a mysterious race dedicated to the abyss for power, the mainstream way. He uses poisonous daggers, so not his tail. He should be the scary monster lurking in the shadow, waiting to strike his prey, but to be honest, he looks like a homeless guy who hasn't clipped his fingernails for months. And why is everything around his head so dark? The only time you are scared of him is when he walks to you, opens his coat and shows you his wiener. I mean, come on, how much can fit in his small underwear? But thank God he got a revamp and he looks decent. I don't know if he is in the category of cool or weird. His face looks better, but he is still naked. Get this man some pants already. If you look at his stats, his win rate skyrocketed and his pick rate and ban rate also are over the roof. I guess people are scared of the homeless guy now. Even though they tried to make him look scary, his kid is pretty scary. And his voice went from a weird demon voice changer to an angry middle-aged man who smokes 5 packs a day. His kid is made to be a psychological warfare version of Where's Wally? Is he in this bush? Is he doing the orange buff? Or is he just behind you? Thanks for his passive, which allows him to run behind you at the speed of light or shadow. But before we keep going, did you know that only 2% of you are subscribed? Like and subscribe, it really helps me out. That's it, have fun, ready, set, go. Shadow of Sticks. His passive has 3 phases for different situations. So whatever he does, he gets something. When Helcurt is outside the enemy's side, he gets an extra 15% movement speed boost and heals himself up, so he does not need to go back. He can just wait. He is no city boy anymore, welcome to the jungle. Also, this state is called Prowler, and it's good to get away from or approach the enemy. But what happens when an enemy sees him? Well, when an enemy sees him, he gets an extra 50% movement speed and 50% attack speed. Who came up with these numbers? What were they thinking? Oh, because we want Helcurt to have a 50% win rate, we will give him an extra 50% movement speed and attack speed for just getting looked at. It's like little Bobby who is sitting in class staring at the board and getting an A+ for effort. That's not how school works. It lasts 4 seconds, but it decreases over time. Thank God for at least some limitations. So when you can't see him, he gets a buff. When you see him, he gets a buff. So I just need to wait until he is low by fighting my teammates and I can kill him, right? Of course not. If he kills one of your brainless teammates, he farts on them and gets concealed, giving him enough time to run away or approach you like a 5 Nights at Freddy's. But at least it has a cooldown of 10 seconds, so he can't do this again. Although it's the end of this page for his passive, it carries over the next abilities. More to read. Thanks, Moonton. First ability, Hidden Terror. He blinks to a location and deals a little bit of damage. He also slows down the enemy in the area by 60% for 0.75 seconds. So he makes sure you can't outrun him. Even though I never think someone can outrun him anymore. But because a slow isn't scary enough, when he is in Prowler mode, it terrifies the enemy. And in Prowler mode, his cooldown gets reduced 3 times as fast. And in the late game, it's only 3 seconds. You can see it when your screen is a little bit darker or when the weird aura is around his level. So you definitely don't get away from him. The best thing you can get away from is your star points. We talk a lot about his mobility, but what is his damage source? Well, now we have his second ability, Deadly Stingers. Helcurt stings you with his tail, dealing AoE damage in the direction he aims, but you can stack it up 5 times and he unleashes the biggest butt plug in history. It also counts as basic attack, but you can't crit with it. So you can use Demon Hunter Sword for HP based damage, or Corrosive Scythe to slow down your enemies, or just take both. Because he chooses these items, his basic attacks hit pretty hard and pretty fast. If you somehow miss his stingers, he can still slap the shit out of you when you bring him cold chicken again. Stacking isn't a problem anymore, because when you are in Prowler state, you regenerate the stacks for free. So basically his whole plan is to wait for the right moment, jump on you, penetrate really fast with his tiny stings, and then magically disappear when she says the magic word "I am pregnant." It also feels like he has no cooldown. His first ability gets reduced 3 times as fast, and his deadly stingers have in late game a 2.5 second CD. At least his ultimate has a long cooldown. Dark Night Falls makes every enemy lose part of their vision and lose sight of their teammates, giving them the Danzo treatment. Because their vision is smaller, he can get closer to the enemy without them noticing, making a good jump scare. And because he's all about mobility, he gets a massive movement speed for the duration. And guess by how much? 50%. So when he uses his ultimate and his blink, he terrifies you. Gives him an extra 50% from his passive, and don't forget the 50% movement speed from his ultimate. And he could have full stacks of his deadly stingers ready to penetrate you, while you are terrified, basically blind, and probably dead. Final thoughts. The revamp is brand new, and we probably didn't figure him out completely. And maybe he ain't that good, or even better. I think it's a little bit too early to say he is broken, but I need to say he is broken. His mobility is insane, burst is high, and you can use it almost every 3 seconds. The only thing he lacks is sustain, but as an assassin, you don't need it. It feels like a horror game now when you play against him. You have to be careful where you are going and think about where he could be, because one wrong move and... Thanks for watching this episode of What's the Deal with Helcurt and his new revamp. If you like the series, then please like, subscribe and comment what you think of Helcurt and what do you want to see next. That's it.